Mazda has just dropped a bombshell that no one in the auto world saw coming. An affordable pickup truck with a price tag starting at just $20,000. Yes, you heard that right. While rivals like Toyota, Ford, and Chevrolet are pushing their trucks higher and higher into luxury territory, Mazda is stepping in with a completely different approach. Simple, functional, and budget-friendly. This move is shocking because Mazda isn't even known for pickup trucks in most markets anymore. But with demand for small, affordable, and fuel-efficient pickups surging, Mazda is seizing the perfect moment to disrupt the market. This isn't just another truck launch, it's a direct challenge to the big names who've been pricing out everyday buyers. Trucks have become ridiculously expensive in the US and beyond, often costing $50,000 to $70,000 for a mid-range model. Mazda clearly saw the frustration from buyers who just want a reliable workhorse without paying luxury car money. By setting the bar at $20,000, Mazda is essentially opening the door for a whole new wave of buyers. Young drivers, small business owners, and families who need utility without breaking the bank. What's even more surprising is how Mazda managed to package this truck. Reports suggest it's not just stripped bare to hit that low price. Instead, it comes with the brand's signature design language. Sleek lines, a bold grille, and modern LED lighting that make it look far more upscale than its cost would suggest. Inside, Mazda is likely leaning into what it does best. Comfortable, driver-focused interiors that feel premium even in budget-friendly models. If this holds true, the $20,000 pickup won't feel cheap, it'll feel like a serious bargain. But here's where things get really interesting. Mazda might be positioning this truck as a compact or lifestyle pickup, not a massive full-size competitor. Think of something closer in spirit to the Ford Maverick or Hyundai Santa Cruz, but at a price that undercuts both by thousands of dollars. That's a game changer. Ford's Maverick has been a runaway success because it tapped into a forgotten market segment, people who want practicality without excess. Now imagine Mazda stepping in and offering something similar, but with an even more aggressive entry point. The competition has every reason to be nervous. Mazda's move raises big questions about performance, because a $20,000 truck still needs to deliver on capability. Early hints suggest Mazda could lean on its proven 2.5-liter four-cylinder engines, possibly even offering a hybrid option to maximize fuel economy. That's critical, because fuel efficiency is now one of the biggest selling points in the compact truck segment. If Mazda can deliver a pickup that gets well over 30 miles per gallon while still hauling gear, it would immediately outshine gas-guzzling rivals. And considering Mazda's reputation for sharp driving dynamics, this truck could end up being more fun to drive than anything else in its price class. This puts enormous pressure on Ford and Toyota. Ford's Maverick starts around $24,000, and while it's considered affordable today, Mazda's aggressive entry point suddenly makes the Maverick look expensive. Toyota has long dominated the truck space with its Tacoma, but the Tacoma has grown larger and more expensive over the years, leaving a massive gap at the entry level. Mazda sliding into that space is a direct shot at Toyota's dominance. The message is clear. Mazda isn't just competing, it's aiming to shake up the hierarchy of the truck world. Even Chevrolet and Nissan should be worried. Both brands have struggled to capture younger, budget-conscious buyers in recent years. Chevy's Colorado and Nissan's Frontier are seen as solid but not exactly groundbreaking, and their pricing is far beyond what first-time truck buyers want to spend. Mazda's truck has the potential to peel away buyers who otherwise might have gone to those brands. And here's the kicker. If Mazda succeeds, it could spark a pricing war across the industry, forcing every automaker to rethink just how overpriced their trucks have become. But it's not just about price. Mazda knows it has to deliver modern tech features if it wants to win over today's buyers. Expectations are high that this new pickup will come with a touchscreen infotainment system, smartphone connectivity, and advanced safety features even at the base trim. If Mazda includes features like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and automatic emergency braking at the $20,000 mark, it will embarrass competitors who often hide those features behind higher trims. This truck could completely redefine Mazda's brand identity. For decades, Mazda has been known for stylish sedans, crossovers, and of course, the legendary MX-5 Miata. Trucks haven't been part of its mainstream image, especially in North America, where Mazda quietly stepped back from the pickup market years ago. But with this bold move, Mazda is signaling that it wants to play on a much bigger stage. A $20,000 pickup truck isn't just a new product, It's a statement that Mazda wants to be seen as a challenger brand that listens to consumers instead of following the industry's trend of pushing prices higher and higher. Globally, this could also be a huge advantage. In markets like Southeast Asia, South America, and even parts of Europe, affordable compact trucks are incredibly popular. Ford and Toyota already profit heavily in those regions, but Mazda's offering at this price point could undercut them in a massive way. The fact that Mazda already has strong supply chains and manufacturing partnerships in countries like Thailand, where pickups dominate, means the company is well positioned to launch this model worldwide. If executed properly, this truck could become Mazda's global volume leader, reshaping its financial future. And let's not forget about timing. The auto industry is currently in a state of chaos. Prices are collapsing, inventories are bloated, and consumers are demanding value more than ever. People are tired of overpriced SUVs and trucks that cost as much as luxury cars. Mazda arriving at this exact moment with a stylish, affordable pickup could make it the hero brand for frustrated buyers. It's not just a new product, it's the right product at the perfect time. If Mazda leans into its strengths, design, driving dynamics, and value, it could carve out a completely new niche in the truck market that others are too slow or too arrogant to notice. And once buyers start switching to Mazda for trucks, it could have a spillover effect on the brand's entire lineup, boosting sales of crossovers and sedans as well. Competitors know this, which is why industry insiders are already calling this move a wake-up call for Ford, Toyota, and GM. Design is going to play a huge role in how Mazda positions this truck, because Mazda isn't just building a workhorse, it's clearly aiming for a lifestyle vehicle that appeals to younger buyers. Expect a sleek, athletic design inspired by Mazda's Kodo philosophy, with smooth body lines and a bold stance that makes it look far more expensive than its price suggests. Unlike traditional boxy pickups that scream utility only, this truck could be marketed as both a stylish daily driver and a weekend adventure machine. That's exactly the kind of identity that resonates with millennials and Gen Z buyers who want versatility without sacrificing looks. Inside, Mazda will likely double down on what has always set it apart: interiors that feel premium at a fraction of the price. We could see soft-touch materials, intuitive layouts, and a driver-centric cockpit that feels more like a sporty crossover than a bare-bones pickup. If Mazda manages to blend comfort with practicality, like including under-seat storage, modular cargo solutions, and clever tech integration, it will attract buyers who might never have considered owning a truck before. This is where Mazda has a chance to completely flip the script on what a budget-friendly pickup can be. Marketing will be just as critical as design. Don't expect Mazda to pitch this truck as a heavy-duty work rig. Instead, the narrative will almost certainly focus on freedom, flexibility, and affordability. Imagine ads showing young buyers using it for camping trips, biking adventures, or even small business runs. By positioning it as a tool for both work and play, Mazda can appeal to a much broader audience than the traditional truck buying crowd. And at $20,000, Mazda won't just be competing for truck buyers. It'll be stealing customers from compact SUVs and sedans too. The ripple effects could be massive. If Mazda nails the lifestyle branding, this truck could quickly become a cultural hit, much like the Ford Maverick did when it first launched. But with a lower price and Mazda's reputation for fun-to-drive vehicles, this pickup might connect with buyers on an even deeper level. It's not just about affordability, it's about aspiration. People will feel like they're getting something stylish, versatile, and dependable without being financially crushed by car payments. If Mazda's $20,000 pickup gains traction, it could unleash a price war the industry has been dreading. Ford, Toyota, and GM have all comfortably enjoyed years of inflating truck prices, relying on brand loyalty and the assumption that customers will keep paying more. But Mazda just shattered that illusion. If buyers suddenly flock to a truck that offers style, capability, and tech for far less money, the big three will be forced to rethink their entire strategy. And once one competitor drops prices to stay relevant, the domino effect begins. We could see a rapid downward correction in the pickup segment, similar to what's already happening in the EV market. This isn't just a threat, it's a wake-up call. Ford's Maverick is the closest rival, but at a starting price north of $24,000, it risks looking overpriced next to Mazda's offering. Toyota's Tacoma, while legendary, has grown into a mid-size truck with mid-size pricing, leaving the entry-level segment wide open. And GM, with the Chevrolet Colorado and GMC Canyon, has doubled down on higher trims and luxury-oriented builds. If Mazda proves there's real money to be made at the bottom of the market, all of these brands will need to scramble to catch up. But here's the kicker. Mazda doesn't even need to outsell Ford or Toyota to succeed. By simply capturing the frustrated buyers who have been priced out of the truck market, Mazda can carve out a strong, loyal base and grow it year after year. Think about it. How many buyers walked into a dealership recently, saw $50,000 plus price tags, and walked out empty-handed? Mazda is betting on those people. They're betting on the massive untapped demand for a truck that's affordable, practical, and not overloaded with unnecessary luxury. And this move could ripple far beyond just trucks. If Mazda forces competitors to lower prices, it could spark an industry-wide reset where affordability makes a comeback across multiple segments. Automakers would have no choice but to re-evaluate their pricing strategies, trims, and feature packages. That's why analysts are calling Mazda's pickup reveal one of the boldest and riskiest plays we've seen in years. If it pays off, Mazda will be remembered as the company that forced the entire auto industry to listen to consumers again. Consumers are likely to react with overwhelming interest, because this truck speaks directly to the frustrations they've had for years. People are tired of walking into dealerships and being told the affordable option is still $40,000 before fees. Mazda's $20,000 price point feels like a breath of fresh air. It's accessible, it's realistic, and it shows that at least one automaker is paying attention to what buyers actually want. Expect younger buyers, first-time truck owners, and small business operators to be the first in line, because they've been squeezed the hardest by inflated prices. Dealerships, on the other hand, could find themselves in a strange position. On one side, they might struggle because this truck doesn't come with the massive profit margins that bloated full-size trucks usually bring. But on the other side, Mazda dealers could see record-breaking foot traffic. An affordable pickup will pull in customers who might have never stepped into a Mazda showroom before. Once they're there, many could end up buying other Mazda models as well, boosting sales across the brand. In fact, this truck might serve as a gateway product, funneling in new customers who stay loyal to Mazda for years to come. What makes this situation even more disruptive is how it could affect consumer expectations moving forward. Once buyers see that Mazda can deliver a stylish, capable truck at $20,000, they'll start questioning why other automakers are charging double, or even triple, for similar functionality. That pressure won't just stay in the truck market. It'll bleed into SUVs, crossovers, and even sedans. Consumers will demand better value everywhere, and Mazda will be positioned as the brand that kicked off the shift. And let's not forget the social media factor. A bold move like this will generate massive buzz online. TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube are filled with frustrated car buyers calling out insane prices. Mazda's truck could easily become a viral sensation, with influencers showcasing how much more they can get for their money compared to bloated alternatives. This kind of organic marketing is priceless, and it's exactly what Mazda needs to elevate itself from a niche player to a mainstream powerhouse. Behind the scenes, rivals are almost certainly scrambling. Ford will be under pressure to revisit the Maverick's pricing and possibly cut costs to stay competitive, but that risks angering shareholders who have grown used to fat profit margins. Toyota may be weighing whether it needs a stripped-down version of the Tacoma or even a completely new compact truck to fill the gap Mazda just opened. GM, which has leaned heavily on larger, more expensive trucks, may be the most vulnerable because it has no entry-level option in sight. None of these companies wanted to start a price war, but Mazda just forced their hand. Of course, with such an aggressive strategy, Mazda is taking on serious risks. Selling a truck at $20,000 in today's market means razor-thin margins, and possibly even losses on the base model. Mazda's gamble is that volume will make up for it, that enough people will flock to dealerships and buy not only the base truck but higher trims and other Mazda vehicles. If that doesn't happen, the brand could find itself under immense financial strain. This is why industry analysts are calling it both a bold and dangerous move. Another risk is perception. While many buyers will be excited by the low price, some may wonder if Mazda cut corners on durability, towing capacity, or build quality to reach that number. Trucks, after all, live and die by their reputation for toughness. If Mazda's new pickup can't prove itself as a reliable workhorse, it could be dismissed as a cheap truck rather than a smart buy. The first year of ownership experiences and reviews will be absolutely critical in shaping its image. And then there's the supply chain challenge. Global automakers are still dealing with unstable part supplies and fluctuating costs. If Mazda can't secure enough components to mass-produce this truck at scale, They risk massive demand but empty lots, a recipe for consumer frustration. Worse, if dealerships start marking up the truck due to low supply, the entire affordability message could collapse, leaving Mazda's big play dead in the water. In the best-case scenario, Mazda could completely rewrite the rules of the truck market. Imagine this: the new $20,000 pickup launches, demand goes through the roof, and dealerships are swamped with buyers. Word spreads quickly that Mazda has delivered a truck that's not just affordable, but stylish, comfortable, and surprisingly capable. Positive reviews start pouring in, social media amplifies the hype, and suddenly Mazda has created the hottest vehicle in North America. Not a massive full-size truck, not an overpriced EV, but a compact, budget-friendly pickup that everyone can actually afford. If this happens, Mazda doesn't just sell a lot of trucks, it changes its entire brand trajectory. Right now, Mazda is seen as a niche automaker, popular with enthusiasts and buyers who value design and driving feel. But if this truck catches fire, Mazda instantly becomes a household name in the truck market, a space it hasn't dominated in decades. That could catapult Mazda into a new era, where it competes not just in sedans and crossovers but as a legitimate player in one of the most profitable vehicle segments in the world. This success could also spark a ripple effect. If other automakers are forced to drop their prices to compete, the entire industry might shift back toward affordability. Suddenly, instead of chasing $60,000 to $80,000 sales with bloated margins, automakers would have to win buyers with value again. Families, young drivers, and small businesses would finally have real options. And consumers would remember it was Mazda that brought sanity back to the market. That kind of goodwill is priceless, and it could keep buyers loyal to Mazda for decades. On top of that, global markets would light up. In regions where compact trucks are already popular, Mazda's new pickup could dominate sales charts. Countries in South America, Asia, and Africa, where affordability is king, would see this truck as the perfect blend of practicality and price. Mazda could end up exporting this model around the world, turning what started as a risky bet into a global success story that reshapes its financial outlook for years to come. In the worst-case scenario, Mazda's bold gamble could backfire in ways that damage the brand for years. If the $20,000 pickup launches and fails to live up to expectations, it risks being labeled as underpowered, cheaply built, or incapable of handling the demands truck buyers expect. That kind of reputation spreads fast, and once a truck is branded as weak or unreliable, it's nearly impossible to recover. Mazda doesn't have decades of truck loyalty to fall back on like Ford or Toyota, so one major misstep could cause buyers to abandon it immediately. Another nightmare scenario is dealer markups. Mazda may promise affordability, but if dealerships tack on thousands in market adjustments, that $20,000 sticker price could balloon closer to $30,000. The backlash would be brutal. Consumers are already furious at dealerships for inflated pricing, and if Mazda's big play gets hijacked by greedy dealers, the narrative shifts from Mazda saves the market to Mazda overpromised and underdelivered. That kind of PR disaster could erase all the goodwill this launch was supposed to create. And then there's the financial risk. Selling a truck this cheap means Mazda will be relying heavily on volume. If demand doesn't hit the massive numbers they're betting on, margins could collapse and the entire strategy could bleed red ink. Mazda isn't a giant like Toyota or GM. They don't have unlimited cash reserves to weather a failed experiment. A flop here could tighten Mazda's budget so severely that it slows development on future models, putting the entire company at a disadvantage in an already cutthroat industry. Global competition is another looming threat. Chinese automakers, who are already flooding markets with affordable vehicles, could take Mazda's playbook and undercut it even further. Imagine a $17,000 pickup with flashy tech and aggressive marketing. It would instantly steal Mazda's thunder, especially in emerging markets. In that scenario, Mazda takes all the risks of opening up the affordable pickup segment, but competitors swoop in and reap the rewards. Mazda's timing isn't random, it's laser sharp. The auto industry right now is in freefall on pricing. After years of skyrocketing MSRPs and greedy dealer markups, the market has slammed into a wall. Cars are piling up on lots, incentives are returning in full force, and buyers are simply refusing to pay the insane prices automakers have gotten used to charging. In that kind of environment, Mazda's $20,000 pickup isn't just another product launch, it's a strike right at the heart of consumer frustration. Think about it. Automakers like Ford, GM, and Toyota have built their entire business model around expensive trucks and SUVs. But what happens when buyers no longer want to play ball? Suddenly, those high-margin vehicles sit unsold, dealerships panic, and companies are forced to slash prices just to move inventory. Mazda stepping in with a fresh, affordable product in the middle of this chaos isn't just bold, it's opportunistic.